just give you all a little update on how the feeder here is working. I mentioned in the prior video that I had the feed time set at 2 minutes, and I thought that was way too long, and so I set it back to a minute. And when I tested that, I fed the fish, and I was like, man, it's just still way too much feed. So I set them all back to 30-second run times to feed the fish. But what happened was when I programmed it at 2 minutes and a minute, of course, by the time I did that minute setting, the fish were pretty much already full from the 2 minute run time. So they didn't really want to eat. So I came out here today, I managed to get home in time to catch the 5 p.m. feeding. The thing ran for 30 seconds and the fish were still acting quite hungry. So I went ahead and bumped all the feed times up to a minute. And I also added a secondary feed time, or another feed time. So I had it set at 7, 9, noon, 2:30, and 5 p.m. And I added another one, so I did 7 at 30 seconds, and I did 7:30 at 1 minute. So basically, if they're not all fully awake at 7, I'll give them a quick feeding just to kind of get them curious, get them up and moving, and then they'll get a full feeding at 7:30. So I think that should help. But this feeder so far is pretty reliable. I mean, it's been running on its own now for 2 or 3 days, and of course the little timer down there now is still doing its gig. This thing's kind of a pain in the butt because you have to, if you pass up the time setting that you want, you have to run all the way through again, another 60 seconds or 60 minutes to get back to where you were. It has a reset button on it, but I hit it, it clears everything, but then as soon as I hit the program button again, it's like it didn't work, it didn't do anything. All the numbers come right back. But anyway, still getting her tuned in, and what we'll have to do is, of course, as the fish grow, they'll want to eat more. So what I'll probably do is about once a week, I'll come out here and I'll more or less calibrate the timer. I'll just let it run, see how the fish are acting. If they're still, you guys can't see very well because it's dark, but they're all kind of swimming around just passing. They're not all crowded up here at the front, splashing, acting hungry. They're all just kind of cruising around doing their thing. So, once a week, we'll need to calibrate it and see how they act after it runs. If they're still acting hungry, I'll add, 15 seconds to the run time or whatever. What you don't want is once the feeder shuts off, you don't want any loose food still floating around on the surface. And I had a little bit of that just now with a 1 minute run time, but that was after they'd already had a 30-second run time. So I think for right now, 1 minute is good. And then probably, like I said, with each week, we'll just bump it up 10, 15 seconds or whatever. There's formulas out there on the right amount to feed. It's like you feed 1.6% of the fish's body weight per day is the optimal thing, but I have no idea what mass of fish I have in here, how many pounds of fish are in there to correlate with how many pounds of food I need to feed a day. So I'm just kind of winging it on this one, and I always say I'll do better next time. Hopefully I do. But yeah, for now, just trying to calibrate the old feeder here and make sure we're not wasting food and make sure we're not starving fish.